Thanks to the support as a channel member, Dan Taylor SEO. Well, we've had another wonderful Wonder Kid-laden summer under our belts. This is the season where we find out just how good we are. We're not going to have anyone taking it easy on us this time around. Second season syndrome is a thing, and we need to avoid it. We've promised our best player a mid-table finish, and a mid-table finish we must provide. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 23 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games of the new Premier League season. We're away against Crystal Palace, at home against Bournemouth, and based on us aiming for a mid-table finish, we've got to be aiming for 2 wins from those 2 matches. I don't think there's any two ways about it. We've got to win 2 football matches. We have beaten Crystal Palace recently. We played them in the hastily arranged We Need Fitness tournament that I put at the end of the summer when I realised we'd only played 3 friendlies. So we know we can beat them, and we know Jim Watson can score goals against them. So fingers crossed. We're on the telly as well, which is very nice. And there's going to be new boys as part of this team. This is our 11. We've got Blanco in goal, who has spent the last month or so of pre-season injured. So he's not fully match fit, but he is available to play today. So Blanco in goal. A back 4 of Oscar, Valenti, De Klerk and Walters. White at the base of the midfield. Scott and Rafa ahead of him. Ross on the right. Sartori on the left. And the one new player who's starting for us today is Jim Watson, the free-scoring Scottish striker, at least internationally. He scores goals for fun. Domestically, not so much. I can only assume they've been playing him in midfield at Hibs. But we're playing him as a centre-forward, and we're looking for goals from him today. We've got lots more of our new boys on the bench. Jovic, Stevanovic, Tamang, Ramsey, Antas, Braddock. Loads of new signings sat down there on the bench, ready to force their way into this team. But we're going with the boys that's got us here initially, apart from up front. Oh, and I get to do a Continental Pro license finally. That's been a long wait. Right, Crystal Palace versus Preston. We need our first 3 points of the season right here. We have much higher expectations than we had last year in a season that notoriously is harder than the first one. So we might be setting ourselves up for a problem with this De Klerk situation, but I didn't see what else we could do, especially once he won Best Young Player at the Euros and got in the Dream 11 at the Euros. It just seemed like a no-brainer that we had to do everything we could to keep De Klerk at the club. And, I mean, we're already rebuilding the coaching structure to accommodate him, and if we've got to force our way higher up the league than we deserve to be in as well, then so be it. The Palace goalkeeper seemed to hold on to the ball for quite a long time there, but the referee is, working along the same principle as all referees, is not bothered to give it, and De Klerk wins the ball back. Scott, now a permanent Preston player. This is his first match as a permanent one. And Ross and Scott, we've got too many players who've got first names as surnames. Even Walters, he's just added an S to his. We need to get these boys some surnames. And Jim Watson is in. Oh, he did get there ahead of the goalkeeper, but rather than just sticking his head on it, Adam Eder style, he's gone for the spectacular and just walloped it. And unfortunately, hit it so hard he couldn't keep it down below the crossbar. But looking lively, getting into good positions early on. That's a positive thing from Jim Watson. We are looking for big things from him this season. If he doesn't provide them, we've got plenty of other options who can give us big things. Oscar has pulled a back muscle. I think we'll leave him on until half-time and take him off then. We've got full-back options on the bench, so it's not a disaster. We've got some nice strength in depth knocking around the place now. Calvin Ramsey can come on to play left-back. Who is better at left-back out of him and Walters? So he's either-footed and accomplished at left-back. Walters is right-footed. And yeah, we'll leave Ramsey either-footed. He can play left-back. No problem at all. Just slot him straight into that position, and it remains 0-0 as we get started in the second half. We could use a goal, please. We've been the better team according to the match stats, but we did start to struggle for goals in the second half of last season. When Adam Eder stopped scoring, we struggled to really get anyone else up and running with the goals. But Alex Scott has decided to start us off with a first goal of this season on his debut, his re-debut, his permanent player debut. Puts us 1-0 up right after half-time. Takes a little bit of the pressure off Watson up front, which is handy to see. What I was going to say is we have got options to come on for Watson if he if he doesn't look like he's going to grab a goal. We've got Tamang on the bench. I think we've got Ida down there as well. We've got Reyes. We are blessed with a lot of very good attacking options now. We just need one of them to grab this position by the scruff of the neck and demonstrate that they're going to be our starting striker for a little while. And at the moment, I wouldn't want to guess who it ends up being, because it could be any of them. They're all pretty good, all with lots of potential. None of them really grabbed it just yet. We're going to bring Reyes on for the final 20 minutes. He was the man in possession at the end of last season. And I think we're also going to take off Valenti, who's picked up a yellow card, give a debut to Bosko Jovic at centre-back alongside de Klerk. I'd like to see a goal from Reyes here, please. Russell Ross, by the way, new club captain. He spent a lot of last season as captain anyway, because Whiteman rarely played, but Ross is now club captain. I mean, if anything, that's even more of a reason why we should find that boy a surname. Right, de Klerk. I mean, I thought for a second there he was going to give the ball away. That would have been disastrous after all. We're giving him 80 grand a week. Sartori nods it down to Rafa, and now it's back with Jovic again. And White at the base of the midfield plays it forward to Ross, who brings it down nicely, slots it into Reyes. It was lovely work from Ross, and Reyes, we saw this from him last year. If he gets enough chances, he will score. He's dangerous. He gets into good positions, but he seems to need 4 or 5 chances to grab a goal. And I don't know that we're ever going to be in a position where he gets 4 or 5 chances in a match. We've seen it again there. 2 good opportunities now for Reyes, which is more than Watson got. He gets in good positions, but he's not quite got that killer instinct that I think we need. We'll try and get a look at Tamang as well, sooner rather than later, to see what he's going to be offering us out of this position. Right, let's make our final changes. We're going to bring on new boy. In fact, we're going to bring on Antas. Antas is going to play on that side. I think he's a right footer as well. He is, so he can just play that same role that Sartori was playing previously. And Raul Walters is tiring. We don't have anyone to come on for him. In fact, Jovic can go out to right back. What have I done here? Everything moved. Jovic can go out to right back. Then we're trying to take off Walters, so we can bring Finley Burns on in there to hopefully just shore things up for us at the back. Ramsey is across to cover and plays it forward to Sartori, who's still on the pitch. This is going to be Sartori's final contribution. Can he grab himself an assist? He goes past his man and cuts it back, looking for Rafa. Rafa gives it to Reyes, and there is the chance for Reyes. I don't know if he's managed to stay onside or not. I think he has. And it was the 3rd good chance it took Reyes today to grab his goal. I mean, ultimately, second half of last season, once he actually started starting, he was close to a goal a game. So, like I say, he gets so many opportunities, he is going to score goals just because his positioning is so good. We just need to work on that finishing, but he's grabbed his goal today. It's Crystal Palace 0, Preston 2. We've absolutely dominated them. We've been comfortably the better team. This is exactly the start to the season that we wanted. We're a mid-table team now. We finished mid-table. We had a good cup run. We just have to believe that we're not in a relegation battle this year. We're gonna finish mid-table, maybe even have a little chase for Europe. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Rafa testing the goalkeeper here as we enter the final few minutes of the match. We've got a corner. It's going to be Ramsey to take. I mean, Ramsey's very, very two-footed. He's taken that with his right foot. He's been playing at left back all afternoon. And now Harvey White from range. It's bobbling around. Ross is trying to get under it, but can't get there. And Palace just about deal with the threat. And our XG suggests exactly what I've been saying. We have not been as clinical as we could be in front of goal. We've scored 2 goals. We should be on course to win the match. We could have had a third. We probably should have had a third. Reyes with multiple chances. But bear in mind, Reyes has been only on the pitch 20 minutes. So it shows how lively he is. And he's involved in the action again here. Now Antas, for his first contribution, plays it into Reyes. And it's another good chance for him. And once again, it's straight at the goalkeeper and saved. I think we're going to have some fun with Reyes, but he is going to frustrate us. He's going to be one of those, I think. He's going to look good statistically, and I'm never going to like him because he misses so many chances. I think it's pretty clear he's already one of those. But 2-0 to Preston. Lovely old stuff. I think we play Bournemouth next. Can we make it a perfect start to the season? Folks, just want to take a moment to thank today's episode sponsor, NordVPN. Now, as long-time viewers will know, NordVPN is the solution to the ridiculous 3 p.m. live football blackout that we have here in the UK, because it allows you with just one click to change your location to a country where they can broadcast the football on a Saturday afternoon. For example, heading into the app, I can click anywhere in the USA. Let's go to New York. One click, we connect to New York, and now, as far as the rest of the universe of the internet is concerned, that's where my computer is. So I can now log in to American-based broadcasters, Peacock, for example, and have a look to see what live football they're broadcasting that afternoon. Equally, I can log into my own club's online service for international viewers and watch those matches there as well. It's awesome, and it is that easy. It is one click. And it's not just for football. You can use it to view international versions of Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, you name it. You can log into it, and they all have different content in different parts of the world, and also different pricing in different parts of the world as well. So if you want to shop around and get these services at the lowest possible price, it's a way to do that as well. In addition to using it for all your content consumption needs, it also allows you to shop around for the best price to buy Football Manager, for example, or maybe access it in countries where it might not be available. And there's also some grown-up security stuff on there as well, especially if you're going to be out and about using public Wi-Fi, hotels, trains, coffee shops, wherever you might be using that. You want to have some kind of protection in place, and NordVPN provides you with that protection and just allows you to browse with the security of knowing that no rascals are going to be able to get hold of your data. And on top of all that, when you sign up using my code at the top of the description below, you get a massive discount and also a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can try it, realize how awesome it is, and then carry on having it at a big discount. Or in the unlikely event you try it and don't like it, you just get your money back, and it's no risk. You've just tried it out and you're not lost anything for doing it. And I mean, you're not going to get your money back because you're not going to need to, because it's great. But if you want to, you got the option to do it. It's right there. It's basically a 30-day trial. So what are you waiting for? The link, like I say, is at the top of the description below. Sign up using that, using my discount code, and you will get a massive discount off a 2-year plan, plus that 30-day money-back guarantee. What are you waiting for? Right there. Right, few changes for the Bournemouth game, because only a couple of days have passed since Crystal Palace. Balotelli comes in at left-back for Oscar, who picked up that injury in that game. Frangolo comes in to make his debut alongside Leclerc. He was our first signing of the summer, oh so long ago. Juan's also coming in to make his debut. We got him right at the end of the transfer window. And we're also going to give Stevanovic a debut on the right-hand side of midfield. We're going to try Tamang off the bench today. Reyes, although he looked good in that previous match, loses his spot on the bench because our squad is now so strong. We're going to give Watson another go from the start because he theoretically should be the pick of the bunch. He's the one I'm pushing the most early on, I think. But we'll give Tamang 20, 30 minutes or so towards the end of this game to have a look at him as well and really get a feel for our new strikers, hopefully. Walters then playing it forward to Stevanovic on the right-hand side. Interestingly, he's a right footer who, even when he's on the right-hand side, prefers to be an inverted winger. And he looks like he's got tricks in him. And it ends up with Rafa in the middle of the penalty area, who whacks it into the base of the post. But that was a decent opportunity for us early on there. And we look lively once again. Stevanovic looks like he's a little bunch of rascalness. That's how you describe footballers. Just dancing around already. I already like him. I like a tricky winger, and that's exactly what he looks like, even though he would claim he's not a winger. Walters gives it to Stevanovic again. Look at him, just dancing past players. Oh, I've got a new hero. I like him a lot. I know, obviously, he's not going to be playing on this right-hand side regularly because Russell Ross will be. But on the left-hand side, maybe? As a super sub, maybe? Who knows? Juan gives it to Stevanovic again, who looks to play it over the top, looking for Sartori, but can't find him. But Sartori has it back, comes in field, gives it back to Stevanovic, and now Walters on the overlap. He's got Watson in the middle if he can find him, but instead it goes beyond Watson to Sartori, who's burst into the area from that left-hand side and gets on the end of the cross with the header for his first goal of the season. Only 11 minutes on the clock. It's Preston 1, Bournemouth 0. We are looking like a very, very good team at the start of this season. That's a lovely header. Sartori is actually wider than I thought he was there and has done really well to get that back across goal into the back of the net. It was a difficult header. And round of applause. Give them a little round of applause. We're top of the Premier League right now, boys and girls. Long may it continue. I suspect we won't end the season top of the Premier League, but stranger things have happened. I refuse to write us off anymore. We've been so good throughout this 2.5 season spell at Preston. Anything could happen. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. I am saying it wouldn't be ridiculous if we were competing at the top end of the table. We've won a penalty here. It's going to be Stevanovic to take for his, hopefully, first goal in a Preston shirt, and he scores, and that's both our wingers on the score sheet today. It's 2-0 before half-time, and it looks like we are going to hit that perfect start to the season that we speculated about previously. 2-0. It's a decent penalty as well. I mean, he's put that pretty close to that post on that left-hand side of the goal. They don't come placed much better than that. Walters now from the throw gives it to Stevanovic again, and there's Juan. I mean, what a pass from Juan, my word. I mean, he's in there as a deep line playmaker. Don't ruin this with your finger nonsense, referee, because that looked like such a stunning pass. I don't know how he's picked Watson out. It's been disallowed. That's such a shame, because it was a wonderful pass. Let's just look at it again. I mean, Watson is marginally offside, but Juan's played that along the floor, past like 4 players, just threading it through the eye of the needle. And Watson, with a very solid finish, actually, looking like I mean, it looked promising for Watson, but Juan, goodness me. He's going to do that a bit more often. We've got ourselves a proper deep line playmaker on our hands. Bournemouth are barely getting a look in so far. We're dominating for the match stats again, like we did in the previous match. This is all good stuff. Remember, the board are just looking for us to avoid relegation again. So any and all points we can accumulate are good, because the sooner we make the board happy, the better. We're all about pleasing the board around here. West Ham must be outscoring us because they've gone to the top of the Premier League. We need at least one more goal, and it is Tamang time. And we're going to get him on up top and have a look at him for the first time in a Preston shirt. And we're also going to take off Sartori for Antas, and Walters is going to come off for Calvin Ramsey, who's going to get a run out at right back this time. And we've got the corner, and we don't get to see. Oh, we do get to see who takes it. It's Balotore with the in-swinging corner, finds Frangolo, who can't keep his header down, and it goes behind for a goal kick. All eyes on Tamang, the other new striker that we brought in this summer, who was wanted by just about the entire Premier League. And we managed to get him ahead of everybody else by bribing his agent and throwing probably a little bit too much money at him. But we have got high hopes for him as a result of all that. We're going to take off Rafa as well as this final change and give a debut to Moreno. Braddock will get his opportunity soon, don't worry. But we paid more for Moreno, so we probably need to give him his debut first. It's Bournemouth at the back, looking to drag themselves back into this game with 10 minutes to go. Ramsey does well to intercept that, but Scott just dilly-dallies on the ball a little bit too long. Bournemouth are in, but Blanco's got that covered and it goes wide anyway. We have nothing to fear there. It remains 2-0. And I just want to see these new boys, Moreno, Antas, Tamang, get the ball up that end of the pitch. Let's have a look at them. Stevanovic has been really quiet in this second half after looking like a lot of fun in the first half. We're not going to be worried, but he grabbed his goal and then disappeared. But 2-0 wins are 2-0 wins. We will take them all day long. We've got the perfect start to our Premier League season. Long may it continue. And hopefully when you come back tomorrow, probably towards the end of September for, I think, Chelsea-Newcastle is quite an interesting double-header. Fingers crossed, we're still going to be comfortably in the top half of that table. We don't have any massively difficult matches. Arsenal aside, there's a lot of winnable matches between now and Chelsea. So we could be like top 6 when we come back tomorrow. And wouldn't that be nice? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.